Hey y'all, good morning. Oh Lord, you can tell it's morning too, right? But I am about to wash my hair. As you know, I have alopecia and I'm actually getting a haircut today, so that's why I'm going to wash my hair. But I just kind of want to take you on a day in the life of someone who has alopecia and just how we prepare for certain things. I am going to utilize my keto shampoo. So it is a medicated shampoo because I do have psoriasis. And one thing I've noticed is that with my hair being cut short, sometimes I get bumps and folliculitis. So I definitely have to use a medicated shampoo. If you don't know, I have centrifugal alopecia. So that means that I have the little circular spots. I have this front little patch right here. And I have some kind of like in the middle. My hair, since I cut it, oh my gosh, almost a year ago this year. And I've been rocking it. I've been getting my Jada Pinkett on. So come with me to wash my hair. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's go. So yes, I do wash my hair in the sink. It is the most convenient for me. I don't feel like taking off all my clothes just to wash one part of my body. No thanks. So you see me using my medicated shampoo, and then I always follow up with a moisturizing shampoo by Aussie or conditioner by Aussie, because the keto shampoo is kind of drying and it's really just for your scalp. It's not meant for exactly your hair. It does take me a little minute to wash my hair, y'all, even though I don't got none. It takes me about 15, 20, sometimes 30 minutes. It just depends on how I'm feeling. And yeah, I just give it a good lather up. I try to massage my scalp in there. And then I give it several rinses to make sure I got all of the product out. So I have my microfiber towel here. I always utilize a microfiber towel because it doesn't pull on your hair. Listen, I want to keep the strands that I do have in place, okay? I got this in a 2-pack from Target. It was about $10. And the best thing about having short hair is that it dries so quickly, but it is a cold day here, so I want to make sure that I sop up any water because your girl is not trying to get sick. You can see here where my thin spots are. They are to the front and they're really concentrated on one side of my head. I thought that was so strange in the beginning. I'm not sure. If you have alopecia, drop down in the comments and let me know. Have you noticed this within your own alopecia journey? But you can see my thin spots here. I do have a little baby hairs growing, but this is mainly what I look like after I wash my hair. You can kind of see my thinning spots here, right here in the front. That started happening in about 2019. But one thing that I noticed is that, number one, it ain't completely bald, and I see some little hairs sprouting. So that just gives me like a, hope that, my hair will grow back. And my alopecia is cyclical, so it kind of comes and goes. And then you can see here as well, I have just a little thinning over here. But this is what alopecia looks like, y'all. Listen, if you don't like it. Who said that? Nene or Candy? I can't remember from the Housewives, but this is what alopecia looks like. I lost my hair, not my brain, and it really has just challenged me to just be more comfortable with myself and not give a hoot, about what people say or what they think about me. This is me. And I also like to hold a mirror up back here each day, especially when I'm brushing my hair. And right in the middle is where my alopecia actually started at. As you can see, it's kind of grown some, but there's still some sprouts back there as well. And yeah, listen, when it come back, it come back. If it don't, it don't. It is what it is. I still use oils, y'all. So I do still, you know, I typically use olive oil, but I'm out. So I'm just going to use this hair growth oil that I got from, it's Hair Growth Co. And, you know, I just kind of put just a little light. I started using this when I went to Italy. This smell just took me back to Italy. But yeah, I just kind of use it and put it on my hair. Still, if you have alopecia, that does not mean to not take care of your hair. Massage it in, brush it, make sure, you know, you get some circulation going as much as possible. Water is your best friend, you know, make sure you still spray a little water on your hair. You know, the natural girls love that. So, yeah. I wanted to talk about some misconceptions about alopecia. And one of the first things that typically I notice when I'm on Instagram and things like that, it's really like an internal message that's sent out there, and it's that you have to cover your hair up. Oh, you need a wig, you need a protective style, you need this, you need that. It's almost like they're saying, you know, you have to cover it up so that it can grow back, right? And that's really actually the opposite of what happens when you know, utilize a lot of these things. It smothers, you know, the hair follicles that may be able to come back and thrive. But that's one thing I kind of wanted to talk about, because no, you don't need, you know, anything to cover your hair. I don't wear wigs. I never was like a weave girl, like pre-alopecia, so I always wore, you know, just my regular hair. So I do understand that some people, you know, weave has like really been like a part of their lives, and it just wasn't for me. I just came to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm sick of hiding it, you know, trying to smooth this, trying to do that. I'm gonna just cut it and call it a day. Now, I do utilize hair fiber, so I just wash my hair. So as you can see, you know, you can really like see my spot. So I do utilize hair fibers that kind of come up in here and just kind of give it a more fuller look. But outside of that, you know, I don't wear anything. And then like the hair fibers, you know, don't last like the whole time. So there will be times where you'll kind of see like the thinning spots. And it did, you know, bother me at first, but I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I feel like my hair needs, it's a plant, okay? It needs sunlight, it needs water, it needs oxygen, you know, to grow. So I don't want to smother my hair follicles or cover them up and make, you know, my alopecia worse. So if you're watching this and you feel like, man, I need a wig, you know, you don't. I understand that everybody, you know, may not be at the point where they are, you know, to want to wear their hair. And then, you know, some people have more severe alopecia where they don't have any hair at all. So I definitely understand that. It is just important, you know, to remember you are still you with the hair or without the hair. I think another misconception for me was that, oh, you know, I remember you having all this long, thick hair. You know, that must be really hard for you. You know, you must be like depressed. And I'm just like, no, like I still have my brain, you know. Everything else in my life is still going pretty okay. You know, I just have lost my hair. Now, in the beginning, I would say like I've had time to kind of get used to this thing. My hair started to go probably in like 2014. So I was already, you know, expecting that it would, you know, further escalate. So I've had time to kind of massage this and get used to it. It wasn't like an all of a sudden thing for me. So of course it was disappointing. Yeah, I'd be lying, you know, if I said that I wasn't disappointed. I wouldn't use, you know, quite depressed, frustrated. I would say unsure, you know, like what am I going to do? But I think that is a misconception. And sometimes people try to place those feelings on you, you know, like let me pray for you or all this other stuff. Like save your prayers, I'm fine. You know, so that is just a misconception that just because my hair is gone doesn't mean that I'm depressed or doesn't mean that I'm feeling bad. Now I kind of equate it, you know, to like to any other thing. You know, my lash won't get on today. I couldn't get my eyebrow right. You know, I'm just a little frustrated. I ain't feeling myself, you know, but outside of that, you know, it's going to be okay. I have come to that realization that it's going to be okay. When it's time to come back, it'll come back. And that kind of leads me to my next point. You know, your hair won't grow back. So I know that is a misconception. Like I said earlier, my alopecia is more cyclical. I noticed that in high stress points in my life that, you know, my hair will start to thin. And then, you know, when things kind of smooth out or I'm not, you know, as fixated on it so much, that my hair will, you know, come back. So I do, you know, believe that my hair, you know, in these little spots here will grow back. But it's not something that I have just invested just a lot of thought into, because those are the things that will have you stressed out, that will have you depressed. I'm just kind of at the point where, you know, it is what it is. If it come back, it come back. If it don't, it don't. Like, leave me alone already. So that's just where I am. But I know for some people, you know, who have alopecia, you know, their hair is not going to come back. And then, like I said, for others, it may be like a back and forth type thing. That's why, you know, it's just important. I know for me, speaking for myself, for me to have made up my mind to say, look, Dugan, this is a situation you're facing. You know, whatever happens, happens. So here's another misconception. You don't have to take care of your hair. Not true. So as y'all saw earlier, I wash my hair with my medicated shampoo. Then I follow up with a conditioner. And sometimes I'll follow up with a deep conditioner, and I'll put my little hot cap on and I'll let it sit on for about 30 minutes. Still take care of your hair. And I do understand that, you know, alopecia varies. Some people have hair, you know, hair like what I have, and then some people don't have any. But, you know, your scalp is an extension of your skin. So just like you would moisturize your skin, just like you would, you know, put a little mist on, put a little oil on, still do the same thing for your scalp. It's really, you know, I'm not doing this as much so for my hair to grow back, but more for me to just take care of myself, right? So that's a part of self-care. So I know for me in the mornings, I typically get up, I will spray my hair with like a little water mixture. Y'all know water is so important for your skin. I'll put some oil on, and then I will brush my hair. So those are things that you still want to make sure that you do. Like I said, I know that some people have more or less hair. So just make sure that you're still utilizing those scalp protective measures. For anyone who's watching this, you know, maybe you just found out you have alopecia. Maybe it's something that you've really been struggling with. And I don't really like to use that word to describe people's, you know, situation, struggling or suffering. You know, that's for that person to say. But I do, as somebody who has alopecia, I do know that you do struggle, you know, in the beginning of this or sometimes throughout this. So if that is you, you know, my advice for you is just to remember who you are. So, you know, without the hair, you're still you. You still have the same mind, body, soul, spirit. Your hair is just really like a descriptor. And I think it's important, you know, to remember that, because you don't want to get caught up in a situation where, you know, you start to feel depressed, you start to feel very anxious, and that just knocks you off from your goals. So it is important for you to reach out to somebody, whether that's a licensed counselor, whether that's a support group, whether you have a question for me, drop down in the comments and let me know. I definitely would like to answer it. But my word of advice is to remember who you are, sis or sir. You are still that same person. You got this. You gonna reach your goals, hair or no hair. The hair has nothing to do with whether you gonna reach your goals or not, right? So if you want to see more about my alopecia journey, be sure to click this video here. Bye.